Live, local, now. This is WSFA 12 News, Today in Alabama.
Good Sunday morning and happy Easter. I'm Jordyn Elston. This morning's top stories are just seconds away, but first, WSFA First Alert meteorologist Lee Southwick is tracking your Sunday forecast. Good morning, Lee.
Good morning, Jordyn. And
so much, Lee. New this morning, Auburn police are investigating a homicide that happened early this morning. Police are responding to a call around 1 a.m. in the 400 block of White Street. There, police found a 59-year-old woman dead at the scene. Officials say she had multiple stab wounds. The woman's identity is not being released until her family is notified. This is an ongoing investigation. Over the past week, we've watched 2 severe weather threats across central and south Alabama. Now officials are encouraging residents to make sure you have everything you need to stay safe. Officials with the National Weather Service say that we are in the peak season for tornadic activity, with the severe weather threats being at its highest through May. According to the National Weather Service, the amount of severe weather we've been seeing across central Alabama is pretty normal when compared to the past few years. They say safety during severe weather is always a top priority, and emergency management agency officials say that it's important to be prepared year-round.
you need to have the water at your house. You need to have that conversation with your family. If the sirens go off, where are we going to go? Getting that, having just like a little quick storm bag. I'm not saying something crazy big prepper bag, but something with a pair of tennis shoes in it, some water, a first aid kit, just the basic things for when you're leaving. A lot of people don't think about it, maybe like when the storms hit in the middle of the night.
Thornton also says that it's a good idea to save your important medical information and pictures of your driver's license and other important documentation on your cell phone. You are also encouraged to have a weather radio inside of your home. Officials say that you shouldn't depend on sirens alone. A former Alabama police officer could spend the next 10 years in jail. Brandon Smirnoff, a former investigator with the Tallahassee Police Department, has pleaded guilty to beating a handcuffed man back in 2016. Smirnoff admits to slamming a handcuffed man to the ground multiple times and knocking his head into the side of a patrol vehicle. Alabama's prison chief is optimistic the state's lawsuit with the Justice Department will soon be settled. One of the biggest issues is understaffing. The DOJ has directed Alabama to add 2,000 corrections officers by 2020. To attract more recruits, Dunn wants to increase trainee pay from about $29,000 to $37,000 a year. Developing this morning, President Donald Trump is spending Easter weekend at his Florida resort. And while the president continues to claim the Mueller report totally exonerated him of collusion and obstruction of justice, he's also stepping up attacks on Robert Mueller at the same time. Meanwhile, members of Congress consider what to do next. Chris Pallone reports. The first post-Mueller report poll is out and says the public's approval of President Trump is at 37%, down 3% from the same poll taken earlier in the week. Last night marked 20 years since one of the deadliest mass shootings in U.S. history at Columbine High School. 12 students and 1 teacher were killed when 2 students opened fire, but the community has remained strong in Littleton, Colorado, and according to the governor, it's also given back a great deal. Each year, Columbine High School celebrates a day of service on April 20th. A report this morning from the 12 News Defenders. New numbers out this week from the CDC show vaping among teens took another big jump this school year. And part of that may be because of how easy and legal it is for teens to buy vaping products in our state. A new law under debate in Montgomery might change that. But as reporter Jonathan Hardison found out, vaping opponents worry it doesn't go far enough. In the United States Senate, Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is proposing raising the legal age to purchase tobacco products, including e-cigarettes, to 21 in an effort to combat teen vaping. It's a chilly start to our Easter Sunday, but things should warm up a bit by this afternoon. WSFA First Alert meteorologist Lee Southwick is in with this morning's exclusive forecast next. Well, it seems like we're going to have some pretty nice weather for the next couple of days. I'm looking forward to that.
Me too. If anyone has any Easter egg hunts, you won't need that sweater. I would say within the next hour or so, it's going to be warm enough that it's going to be a lovely day.
Perfect weather for the kids to get outside.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks so much, Lee. Coming up after the break, a look back at an eventful T-Day in Troy and the Alabama softball team looking for the sweep over Florida. Highlights from a top 10 battle next. Men at some time are masters of their fates, so William Shakespeare says in Julius Caesar. And it seems that Shakespeare's fate was to live on in the celebration of his works 455 years later. Yesterday, a huge celebration at the Alabama Shakespeare Festival recognizing his 455th birthday. Bard Bash featured games, history lessons, costume trunks, and even productions of some of Shakespeare's work.
Got to dress up in some of the costumes that the actors have used and got some fabulous pictures from that. And we got to listen to some wonderful music.
That's right. I enjoyed the dress up because I was able to look like Shakespeare and do some of his soliloquies.
Shakespeare is known for writing at least 37 plays, including famous works such as Romeo and Juliet, Hamlet, A Midsummer Night's Dream. Historians believe Shakespeare was born on April 23rd in 1590 and that he died on the same day in 1616. What a birthday. Well, we're gearing up for a beautiful Easter Sunday today. Lee gives us one more last look at that forecast coming up next. Well, I'm definitely excited for that nicer weather over the next couple of days. Thank you guys for tuning in this Easter Sunday. We'll be back at 5 and 10.